Previously on Phoenix Wright's Spirit of Justice. These dishes are only prepared during the feast, which starts at noon in the day before the rite. It must be finished by 3 p.m. the same day. So why is he smelling it here? He accused the slew acolyte zealot after killing the high priest during the purification rite. Oh shit, you're right, aren't you? You're gonna be right. Please don't do it, Phoenix, please don't. And now back to the present. The only problem is the deceased spirit does not corroborate that. What's this? You were there when we had that conversation, weren't you? Take a good look at what the victim smelled. Do you see how it says gingill? Acolyte zealot shouldn't have smelled any gingill on the night of the rite. What do you mean? Let me back up my statement with some evidence for you, thank you. This should explain how the victim couldn't have smelled gingill on the night of the rite. Bloop, bloop. Believe statement, present. High Priest's wife Believe in Me told me about Believe in Me. Oh, Believe in Me! I didn't even realize that. Oh. It's funny, you're just reading the names and all of a sudden it occurs to you that you just said something that sounded... Anyway, Believe in Me. Told me about the Feast of Blessings. The feast includes a number of gingill-based dishes, and they're only supposed to be served at a certain time of the day before the rite. Well, I believe you're right. I completely forgot about that. I don't even have a schedule to when I eat. I eat pancakes at 4 in the morning. During the feast, the unique smell of gingill pervades the entire kingdom. The fact that the victim smelled it means he was murdered between noon and 3 p.m. the day before the purification. That's huge. That's actually pretty huge. Yeah, it is. What's that? Yeah, well... Alright, I taught her about that. That's true, though, yeah. Crap. I was gonna say, this is gonna get a lot more confusing if it turned out that he actually did get killed at a different time. Forgive me, benevolence, but the estimated time of death is just that, an estimate. Yeah, but it wouldn't be off by that much time. Also, your science isn't so great after all now, is it? Huh. Like if a body was kept cold. Yeah, well, decay, but that's like... If it was, like, gone for weeks or something, I would think. I don't know. It's just an idea. I believe I've heard something of the sort before. Yeah! There's been a couple of cases, I think, where that happened. Or at least one, anyway. The estimated time of death in the autopsy report will have to be revised. So now we just don't know when it happened. Well, we do, but not because of the autopsy report anymore. Barbhead, you blinded me with science! Oh, man. Oh, man. Sorry. Wait, what am I apologizing for? I hate that song. I'm sorry, but I do. But never mind. Anyway, whatever. The murder may have occurred in the afternoon hours the day before the rite. Nevertheless, the murder weapon with the accused's prints on it is incontrovertible evidence. I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. Alright, make those amendments. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. Though a bit dark, the pattern on the plaza's ground was visible. So you're saying it's the afternoon now. The blade struck true, and it's an he departed from this world. The time of death has been corrected, leaving my insight infallible. Ugh. Nick? A change in the time of death is bound to cause some sort of an inconsistency. If I had something that showed what it was like on that day, it could really help. Dude, I totally do, though. I do. We had that thing about the ice. There was like... Wait a minute, here. Did she actually specifically say? It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. Okay. Okay, it pauses when you go to the court record. That's interesting. Where was that it said that? Was it May 9th newspaper? No, I didn't think so. Wait, maybe it was. There's like 4 pages there. The thick white ice that froze the ground from the inner sanctum to the Plaza of Devotion till yesterday has melted. The Wright can now go on as planned. Well, okay, are they saying until yesterday? But if the Wright was today and the ice was there yesterday, and you're saying the murder happened in the afternoon, it would make sense for the ice to be gone by that point then, wouldn't it? I think? I'm not sure if I'm, like, overlooking something there. I don't want to get distracted with too many other theories and crap here, but I feel like this has to be it. I'm just sight, right?
Objection!
Try it. The change in the date and time of the crime has caused a new inconsistency to surface. Oh, hell yes. What's this? Oh, you were making that irritating face again. That straight mouth, cease that at once. Oh, my mouth's not straight anymore. That was back in Trials and Tribulations that I looked like that. See the curve at the end of my lip here? Don't I look so much cooler now? Sorry, but this is the face I was born with. I was born this way. So let's focus on what is important. What the victim saw in his final moments. You have bats in the belfry, Bobhead. There was nothing to see. The ground at the plaza was all that entered the victim's eyes. That's right. And the fact that his hands weren't frozen stiff. And that's what I find so strange. On the day before the Wright, it should have been impossible to see that pattern on the ground. Impossible, you say? Do explain. Well, don't mind if I do. This piece of evidence shows why the plaza's ground was not visible that day. Drango. This newspaper. When I saw that, I told myself, I have to remember this because that's a strange detail. And I know I'm going to forget it if I don't tell myself to remember it. Which is kind of a weird way for the brain to operate, but yeah, there you go. This newspaper has an article that is tiny in size, but huge in importance. It says that the ground was covered with thick, white ice the day before the Wright. What? But the victim did not see so much as an ice cube on the ground. I used it in my tea. Exactly, and so we must ask, what was the victim looking at in his final moments? Huh. So we're not saying it was a different time then, are we? The last thing the victim saw was not the ground at the Plaza of Devotion. This can only mean that he was killed elsewhere. Oh my gosh. Wow, first the time and now the place. But at that point, somebody still must have brought the body out there, right? Where do you propose the victim was actually killed? Yes, tell us where. Otherwise, your argument is worthless. Oh, about that. Oh, I hadn't gotten that part yet. Well, we've seen that pattern around a lot of places. Any ideas, Maya? Well, let me think. Oh my god, I know! I know! I know where he got killed. There was the blood on the ground in the hideout, the little rebel hideout, and those giant green things were in there. He was probably like standing, and the one was like falling when we run. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Right, but where could that be? I know where it is. Please let me tell you. Let me tell you where it is, please. What's the Bobhead given up already? Not at all. Now what if I seen something green and shaggy? Besides Oscar the Grouch. This shows where the victim was killed. Oh, so I have to use evidence, huh? I thought it was going to give me like a list of places. Okay, but don't we have... Well, he took a picture of it with his camera, didn't he? Yeah. Got you. The secret hideout the rebels were using. The rebel hideout? Sure enough. So either that thing was on the ground and he was like laying on it, or he was standing up against it when he was stabbed. But if he was standing up against it, that's why the handprints are on it too! Jeez Louise. Oh, I almost feel like I could have figured that out. Oh man. There was no such place anywhere on the floor of that chamber, she says. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry I didn't do your voice. There's no place on the floor anyway. Then what did the victim see in his final moments, if not the floor of the rebel hideout? This is what the victim saw in his final moments. Give it to me, baby.
Take that!
Oh, this is so good. The shaggy green surface the victim saw was one of the moss-covered stone slabs. You can even see the handprints! Oh! I believe the victim was killed while he stood there with his hands pressed against the slab. So you're saying he was killed while he stood. Actually, that makes sense, because the blood is not on the slab. But there was blood in there. That does agree with the seance vision. However, one cannot definitely declare they are one and the same. My god, that changes all the other things now. The Jinjil, the thing playing the song. I concur. There is no proof that a murder occurred in the rebel hideout. Oh, but there is. There is. What evidence do you have of this? Gimme, gimme, gimme. I've already shown you the evidence. You just couldn't peek your head in far enough to see it. Please take a look at this second version of the photo I just showed you. You can see the results of the luminol test I performed in the rebel hideout. Oh, these people must hate me right now. It's proof positive that someone had been bleeding in front of that stone slab. Is this true? Oh, damn right it is. This information has already been provided to the police. Detective Sky, to whom does this blood belong? We thought it was the High Priest's blood that flowed in from outside. So we haven't tested it yet. Oh, man. Don't pull a gumshoe on me, young lady. You'll get your salary revoked. You must do so at once. Yes, your majesty. Do it. Do it. Oh, man. Also, is it done? Wow, that was fast. It appears the police have finished testing the blood. Detective Sky, your report, please. The blood found in the rebel hideout belongs to PWAA Zealot, just like the defense claims. Detective Sky, do you realize what your blunder has done to me? She did it on purpose. When this trial concludes, I want to see you in my prayer chamber for some spanking. Wait, what? There I will deliver a joyous sermon unto you for 8 hours straight. Oh, I'm sorry, but please, anything but that. Nick, maybe, just maybe, this is the chance we've been waiting for? Yep, it would seem so. I hate to do this to Emma, but go for it. It's full speed ahead. She can handle it. Probably. The victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then his body was moved to the Plaza of Devotion by someone we've yet to identify. My mind was racing there as I was reading that. Yeah, okay, so he was already dead, yeah. But, the victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then his body was moved to the Plaza. Okay, yeah. That's good. Sorry, I had to look at that again first because my mind was kind of racing. Oh, no, they're not shouting at her, are they? She looks so lonely out there. And that's not all. If he was killed at the inner sanctum, that would explain one more thing, why the water was red. How the time of death was made to look later than it actually was. Oh, well. Okay, I was thinking the snow or the weather, but we already kind of talked about that, though. The proof which is left behind in sanctum. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was. Hang on, I wasn't expecting this. Well, I mean, it has to be something like in the room, right? I actually kind of think it might have been later. They stabbed it into him after he was already dead. They maybe killed him some other way. No, okay, never mind. I didn't think that through for very long. I kind of wanted to just jump in and see if it worked. You really shouldn't do that, you know. You know. How would the dagger change the time of death anyway? That would change the cause of death, not the time of death. My bad. So there's that too. Anyway. Okay, I'm checking the dialogue here. How the time of death was made to look later than it actually was. The proof of which was left behind at the sanctum. Okay. Is that why the... Wait a minute. Did we get a picture of that? I don't know how much that would have helped, though. Is that why the shovel... why the snow was shoveled out? They used that to preserve the body? They did say the weather was going to be warm the next day, so that would kind of make sense.
Take that!
Why, these are photos of the inner sanctum? I'd like you to focus on this one. This was driving me crazy. The proof is right here in this photo. This is how the time of death was made to appear later than it really was. Do you see how the snow has been removed from this one spot only? That's because it was used to keep the victim's body cold. And that's why the time of death wasn't what it seemed. Oh man. That makes sense now. I wasn't expecting that. There's only so many reasons, though, why he would shovel snow. To get rid of blood is one, preserve a body is another. The time was mistaken, and the place too. And just what do you believe that proves? That my client is innocent, for starters. What of her fingerprints on the dagger? And the plumed Punisher theme the victim heard? You know, the plumed Punisher I know, but the fingerprints, I am at a complete loss for words. You failed to address these two key pieces of evidence. I'm mumbling, sorry. Wasn't this your big chance, Nick? I'm really hoping that the difference in location can invalidate either the weapon or the theme song from being used as evidence against you. Actually, that might be possible, at least for one of them. Really? Yeah, it is. What's this? You say you can contradict our argument for a key piece of evidence? Yes, I can. Very well, let's see you try. Nick, take a good look at the rebel hideout photo. I know. Oh, the defense can invalidate this piece of evidence. The Plumed Punisher theme. Dude. Plumed Punisher theme? I examined it when I was in there. Since the murder happened in the rebel hideout, there's something there that played the theme song other than my client's strap. I'm not sure why it was playing during the murder, but maybe they just wanted him to have a happy departure, you know. The item that played the Plumed Punisher theme song was this. Only this. Right there. Right on it, too. Right in the center. This is a Plumed Punisher alarm clock. Oh, it was an alarm clock. That's right. So does that maybe help us with the time a little bit here? We might need to get more specific later.
Objection!
What proof do I have that the alarm went off? What proof do you have that it was my client's strap that played the theme song? Yes! I didn't twist the facts, I just asked you to, you know, step up. You want me to prove it, you gotta prove it too, man. Either way, the accused would still be guilty based off of her prints on the murder weapon. You're running out of evidence. You're running out. And here's what really happened. Oh, going back in, are we? Going back into the insight. The victim stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. It was the afternoon of the day before the Wright. The rest is still the same. Though there have been some twists and turns, that is the truth of what happened. I won't get anywhere until I can eliminate the dagger. I'm telling you, from the beginning, I don't know. I don't understand. How? I see no inconsistencies anywhere in the prosecution's case. Something big. That's, I don't know. I think this is where spirit channeling is going to come in, though. There is one. What's this? You still claim there to be an inconsistency. Try as you might, the outcome will always be the same. Yeah, well, try as you fight. The butthole will always be the cream. What? Okay, heavy. What's with the heavy, I wonder? Have we addressed that yet? We haven't really addressed that, I don't think. Because we thought that, like, it was heavy because she sat on him, you know? Or the murderer sat on him. But if that's not what it is, then... Was somebody pushing him? Or did somebody put something on his head? I don't really know. Oh, wait a minute! Oh, no! What if the slap... Because I mentioned this earlier. That I thought, like, I made the mistake of thinking that he was still kneeling on it because it moved. when we were in the hideout, that slab moved or something. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it wasn't stable. Now looking at this, I can see exactly what's going on. The slab is falling on him. This death is probably a complete accident. Either, unless somebody was behind him with a knife, then they would have kind of gotten crushed too. Yeah, wow, okay, someone was there. The thing that the plumed Punisher filled the air. The plumed Punisher. The accused plunged her knife into the defenseless victim's neck. Okay, if I'm right about the heavy thing, then okay. But I'm pretty sure that's not what we're trying to do here. Ugh. Was the knife maybe somehow set up? I wonder if maybe we can prove it. I mean, because if we can establish that the slab was falling on him and he was trying to hold it up, because you can see it getting closer to him. Kind of growling. Are we going to do this? Are we going to try this? So it's touch, yeah. I'm not really too sure about this, but it has to be something, right?
Objection!
Uh-oh. Your benevolence. Isn't the statement inconsistent with the vision? No, it's not, you dummy. Go bowling! I think not. Go bowling? What the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, that's where the inconsistency lies. One day they're going to make a game where when you get the right answer, he says that, and the pro player's going to think, oh my god, was I wrong? And then it's going to turn out he was right. Arg. Guess there wasn't an inconsistency there after all. Too bad. I mean, at least it stopped putting that thing up there that was trying to help me, the easy mode or whatever. Oh, hey, we can save, totally. There's not that much to work with here, and I'm glad there's not, but at the same time, I feel like maybe if I looked at the court record that might help, but... Because what do we know about all this room and everything? I mean, do we really know that someone was there? He couldn't see anything. What if nobody was there? Okay, because, like, I mean, to me, I don't know, someone was there seems like I don't see anybody in this vision at all besides him. Like, how do we know for sure? Because if I'm right about, like I said before, if I'm right about this heavy thing and he was, like, pushed into the knife somehow, then we would eventually reach that conclusion by starting here and saying, well, whoa, what if he was alone? And then, you know... Of course, then that begs the question of how did the thing fall on him, though? I mean, sure, it was unstable, but it's not alive. We'll just see what happens here. Your benevolence, I'm dumb. Yes, you actually are. I'm glad to see you're finally admitting it. No, I'm not admitting it. I'm just saying it to make you feel better. I don't want you to make her feel better. I want you to make me feel better. What are you doing? Why do you prioritize her over me so much? I'm jealous. Guess they're both dumb, along with me. Oh god, it's giving me the easy mode again here. I'm almost tempted to try it, because I have... Like, I'm almost up to like 10 minutes now just on this one question. I don't want to have another shadow incident here. I think I'll try it. Just to see what happens. I can't find any inconsistencies, Maya. Don't give up yet, Nick. I mean, what about that insight? You know, the one that said... The victim stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. Something about that doesn't seem to match up with the deceased's sensations. Oh, you mean... Well, yeah. That actually makes perfect sense. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I see what you mean. Okay, so it just tells you, like, which statement. That is so obvious now! The victim stood with his hands on the stone slab. If it was falling on him... Ooh. That is so obvious now. The victim stood with his hand. It wouldn't be heavy if he was standing. Oh god, that's horrible. What? And a couple of wrong answers there. Okay, select. Here we go. Jeez Louise, man.
Objection!
Booyah! It's the simplest thing, and I was right. I was right on. Like, I knew what I was talking about, but I just didn't present it right. Ugh. The victim was originally thought to have been stabbed while bent over in prayer. But he was actually standing with his hands against the stone slab. But now there's this. See, the question is, where did the sensation of something heavy come from? Oh, I guess I see your point. Well, let me tell you. Since the victim was standing, he could have been held down. Eep. Then tell us, Mr. Wright, what was that heavy sensation felt by the victim? What caused the heavy sensation? Any thoughts, Maya? I agree, that sense of heaviness seems important, but there's also the matter of Zealot's hands on the stone slab. Why were they even there? Could it be related to the cause of the heavy sensation? Yeah, maybe. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have an answer for us? Of course. I just envisioned the state Zealot was in when he was killed. The cause of the heaviness the victim felt was the falling stone slab. There you go. The only conceivable cause is the stone slab falling over, trapping the victim underneath. What? Yeah. Oh, you're surprised at that one, aren't you? The stone slab came falling down on him, crushing him underneath. Right, with my fingers still out, that was the cause of the heavy sensation the victim felt. While your theory is impressive, you have overlooked a key fact. The victim was not crushed to death. Rather, he was stabbed. Oh yeah, but how did they stab him in the back of the neck if the slab was falling on him? Unless it was falling on two people. Or do you claim that the dagger was plunged in after the slab had fallen on him? I mean, good lord, dude. Plus, had the killer been behind the victim, they would have both been crushed together. Well, would you care to explain? Sure, I'd love to, if I could. Doesn't mean I can. How could the dagger have been plunged in after the slab fell on the victim? The killer couldn't have plunged the dagger into the victim after the slab fell on him. But what if the murder weapon wasn't what we thought it was? Well, there were other weapons in the rebel hideout. But the entrance to the hideout is right by the stone slab. Oh my god, I know how. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was wondering why there was blood on that fucking statue. It pushed him into the statue, didn't it? So he got stabbed a number of times, not just once. If this is going the way I think it is. Because if the door was turned around, you know? Like open. If the murder weapon wasn't the dagger, then the dagger must have been plunged into the victim after he was already dead. That means he was stabbed at least twice, but the autopsy doesn't mention that. Then he must have been stabbed in the same spot with something shaped like the dagger. Dude, I got this. I got you, fam. Would the defense care to offer an explanation sometime this century? It's only been like 15 seconds, dude. Wait, wasn't there something dagger-like near the scene of the crime? Something that had a shape similar to the Warbod dagger. They were trying really hard not to just show us, aren't they? Present your evidence at this time, Mr. Wright. This shows what really killed the victim. Let me see. Inner sanctum photo, it's in the photo, but it's got blood on it. Alright, I'll try that if I don't see anything better here. I don't see. What is this here? Oh, I always think that this is like a face when I just glance at it. It's not that, it's not that. Okay, can you see it in this photo? No, you definitely can't. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying it. Is this not the photo from the scene of the High Priest's murder? Are you suggesting the murder weapon is hidden herein? Oh yeah, let me point, baby. Let me point to it. Yes. Oh man. This always feels so good when they let you do it when you already know what it is. But that is the Warbot statue? Exactly. And I thought that's what killed the other. I was thinking for a while that that's what killed the other guy. The Warbot statue has dagger-like feathers protruding from it. That is what really took the victim's life. It's like, was it an accident? Maybe nobody did it. You imbecilic fool. The statue was outside of the hideout. How do you propose it impaled someone who was inside? Do you not know about the hideout? And how it works? Haven't you heard? The Warbot statue also functions as the hideout's door. What do you mean? Oh, you haven't played Investigations 1, have you? The statue can pull a complete switcheroo. A switcheroo? To put it simply, it's a revolving door. Bam. A revolving door? Well, that makes perfect sense. Oh, I'll tell you what else makes perfect sense. My hair today. Therefore, I believe the truth behind the divination seance to be this. The victim came in. As the victim entered the secret hideout, the stone sculpture came toppling toward him. Oh no! He threw up his hands to stop it, but its weight forced him backwards. It was just an accident then. But the problem is, we found his body down there. Somebody had to plunge the dagger into it. So, like, why would somebody do that? You know? Like, why wouldn't they just leave his body where it is? Unless they wanted us to think that someone else had done it, you know? Ow. Jeez. This cannot be! Yeah, you tell those assholes. But the accused's fingerprints were found on the dagger! Damn it! She had held it while rehearsing for the Wright. Which is when her prints got on it. You see? Oh yeah. Finally got rid of those frickin' prints. This is a shocking turn of events, but there's a great deal of circumstantial evidence in the defense's favor. That's right. I believe we must accept that the Warbot statue was what killed the victim. Yep. Its sharp protruding feathers took Puri Zealot's life. It's also a revolving door. Yeah, leave that part in about the revolving door. That's very important. It is, though. Now that we know how Acolyte Zealot really met his demise, there's no basis for claiming my client committed this crime. Nice work, Nick. We did it. We got her off of one of them. Now we just have to figure out how that changes the other murder. How can this be happening yet again? The divination seance is the only truth. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Your Benevolence. It's not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. I'm trying to be nice here. Do you understand now? Your kingdom needs lawyers so that they can interpret your insights. There's nothing wrong with them. You're not useless. Oh, there's one. There's one right there. Ah, they should never have made you do that, though. She has an amazing ability, but they shouldn't have tasked her with also interpreting it. That's too much. All the color is drained from your face. I will be fine. Continue your proceedings without me. Oh my god, you poor thing. You need a hug. I feel kind of bad for her. You're telling me. Now then, I would have the defense continue. Let's just forget about that now. Forget about all her anguish right now. Please explain what you have learned now that we know how the victim actually died. Acolyte Zealot was killed in the hideout before the High Priest's murder. That means the body found at the Plaza of Devotion was moved there by the real killer. But only after the Warbot dagger was thrust into him, to make it look like the murder weapon. That does seem to agree with what we now know. But why would the real killer go to such lengths? I mean, the fact that he was trying to frame it on Maya kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? That maybe he had something to do with the first murder, too. I believe stabbing Acolyte Zealot's body with the dagger and moving it to the plaza was to make it look like a serial murder. I mean, the other two are kind of silly. It was an attempt to make my client look like a serial killer. That's right. The real killer planned all of this. This forged serial murder case. They did. That's it, Nick. Keep hammering away. Uh-oh. I heard that. Your reasoning has more holes in it than that cheese you foreigners so enjoy. What? Don't knock the cheese, dude. I'm from Wisconsin, I'll have you know. Like those putrid, hole-riddled clumps of curds that only a rat like you could love. What? Dude, did you hear that? Did you hear that just now? That is proof positive that I like cheese. And, never mind. Your reasoning, much like your putrid, hole-riddled brain, has putrefied. No, that was overkill. I don't know, Phoenix. Your guess is as good as mine. You've yet to overturn my argument that the accused is the killer. A careful analysis of the chain of events up to the killing exposes the truth as follows. Do it. Do what you gotta do, man. I'll be right here with your evidence when you're done. Disguised as Lady Kira, the accused found the rebel hideout the day before the Wright. But Acolyte Zealot had followed her there after noticing her suspicious behavior. Caught by surprise, she pushed the stone slab toward him, and we know the rest. I've never been to the rebel hideout in my life. Like, yeah, and even if that was the truth, like, why would she leave a dagger that she knows has her prints on it in his neck? I don't know. When the High Priest arrived at the sanctum the next day, he realized what she had done. And then that gave him the clap. That is when the accused murdered him in order to silence him. I mean, silence is a strong motive. I believe Prosecutor Sabati has posed a compelling scenario. The defense, on the other hand, hadn't done shit. Just proved the accused. After all that, man, I tell you, why would my client move Acolyte Zealot's body to where everyone could see it? Yes. And why would she stab the dagger with her fingerprints into his dead body? Thank you! She had no reason to do any of those things. The dagger in his corpse was likely a warning to the rebels. Something along the lines of, Lady Kira will slay the defiant dragons. So that is why she moved the body to the plaza for all to see. Now he has the judge convinced too. Thought I finally made some headway. Well, Mr. Wright, about time for one of your groans of distress, is it not? Not yet, dude. Not yet. Kills me to admit this, but I got nothing to counter his argument with. And I still haven't disproven the allegations against Maya. Well, let's see. Is it not time to end your futile struggle? You were already judged guilty yesterday. That makes you a dead lawyer walking. Dead man walking. Accept the death that now awaits you, and in doing so, finally know peace. God, these people are so harsh. Has he not the least little bit of respect for me after all that I did? I mean, he was just saying like 10 minutes ago that I was so right, and I had all this compelling evidence here. A dead lawyer walking, indeed. Then again, are not all lawyers who practice in Kurain? But I must admit, I misspoke earlier. Allow me to amend my statement. Another amendment, huh? I had said the defense's reasoning had a putrid, cheese-like smell. But I now realize the stench was from my blood. Oh, from my body on the verge of death, okay. Now I'm a rotting zombie. You're a Rottweiler. Think, who could have killed Zealot the day before the Wright? Who knew about the rebel hideout? Jeez. Who knew about the rebel hideout and could gain access to the inner sanctum? I mean, probably... Oh. Wait a second. Dude, not now, bud. Please, I'm trying to think here. Only those involved with the Wright can enter the sanctum, so... Yeah, I mean, if... But... Yeah. The only person who was involved with the Wright had access to the sanctum and was suspected of being a rebel is him. Yeah. Somebody did. Somebody definitely did.